right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Does he not know how to stand still? Is he like a shotgun blast? Can I not charge with him? I guess I can't charge with him. Golly, what do you want? I love how you're over there, but it popped over to us. Popped to.
I wish that were so, but I bring grave news. Strange creatures have been spied, heading toward Onuahi. I fear
I don't even think they...
I see. I will run to Onuahi and help. Find Lua.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even know if... Yeah, Lua. The wind one. I don't even know if he was really that prevalent in the Mask of Light movie, was he? The Gali... Toa... Tahu, the fire one. Louis. I know he was prevalent in it, and then Kapaku, he was barely in the first little bit. And I don't think all the Toas really came about. Like all the Toas came together until the very end of the movie. But yeah, I was talking in the last episode, hating the youth. Yeah, the shit you guys say, I don't get it. And I come from a place saying that's dope, that's rad. You know what I mean? Come from stuff like that to, and I mean, I think it definitely is a generational thing for sure. But because I'm sure all generations think the same. You know, I feel like my generation until the last, it kept pretty consistent between lit and I was saying something's tubular or whatever. And it went from radical to rad, and then but dope. I think dope's been pretty around. That's sick. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just old. Okay, that happened.
Sorry to drop in like this, but I can't stay.
I didn't remember fucking asking.
Supposed to get out of here. We'll need to open the 6 locks on this door. Let's go.
Where did this come from? That wasn't there in that cutscene. Okay, pressing down to speed up, slow down, A to jump. This vehicle is powered by your elemental energy. Collect the energy spheres to keep your energy level. Ooh. Do I need to Okay. What is going on? I don't know. There's so much going on. There's so much. Am I even doing the right thing? Are those the energy things that I'm supposed to be collecting? Right? Jump! Okay, at least you told me what to do, because I wouldn't have seen that otherwise. But, you know, but I think that's the wild thing too about, you know, I guess as humans, you know, it's just very strange how we work and, you know, the things that we say and do. But I've always been super interested in human behavior and stuff, and you know, it's the whole thing of people watching, you know what I mean? It just seeing how people different how different people react to things, or this whole, you know, this interact in life, everyday life. I love going to, you know, functions and stuff and just sitting there and watch people do their everyday stuff, because it's I wouldn't fucking do it like that. So it's kind of weird that, you know, you would, and just thinking how there is a general norm, I guess, you know, a societal norm and everything. But then there's our own norms within our own within our own, our own reality, our singular reality, instead of like just the group consciousness of humans. And while some people see that as normal, others do not. And I just think that's super fascinating to me. Like, because how people grow up. I grew up in such a home where I found certain things to be very normal and every day and routine, and it didn't bother me, and I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it until after I was
My friend!
Pohatu!
Gali wanted to
Pohatu.
creatures like this!
No, Pohatu!
Brother?
Your speed is needed elsewhere. Run and warn Tahu. It will give me
God, these character models, dude.
this. Let me give you a real Ohiwahi welcome.
Ohiwahi welcome. I'm gonna have to watch Mask of Light again. I'm pretty sure it's on the YouTube movies, because I don't remember him really being a character in the movie at all, or really having, not having anything to do with anything, but also just sounding that like thick-headed. You know what I mean? Yeah, these character models are tough to look at. There's a Game Boy version of this game that was also like, it was like not necessarily like rough to look at because it's a Game Boy Advance game, but it was like rough to play because it was vastly different than what was wrong with his hands whenever he first. I love how they just all have this singular, like, one thing. You can shoot the little beams and that's it, instead of making them have their own special ability, I guess. Why do I have these little chainsaws? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, it's the fact that I can move stuff. Because I'm strong. Yeah, you'd think, being a video game, and like you would prioritize the fact that they are different elements and different, legitimately have their own and different abilities, instead of just like, okay, well, you have different levels dedicated to the character itself, and not, and like in its abilities, instead of giving them their own abilities. But Golly can swim. The other ones can't. So there you go. That's your one singular difference. If you want anything else, you gotta go. Back to like the other Bionicle games. There was another one. There's quite a few of Bionicle games. There's one for the movies and stuff, and then there's, I think there's a couple offshoot ones, but there's one specifically that I don't remember what it was called. I'm gonna have to look it up. It was kind of like, but you can have like a little buddy with you. That was absolutely pointless. Having a little friend was pointless because you can get through the majority of the game just with the main character that you played as. The animation style and art style of the Toa that you played as, well, I think you just played as a Matoran, were just absolute nightmare fuel. The one that was your little brother, that's like knee-high water. He had this like huge head, and I mean, I know I'm no one to talk, but it was just nightmare fuel. I'll put it on the screen right now. This is the one I'm talking about. If you know it, like, hell yeah, because that's a nostalgic thing. That's a core memory that game has. Same thing like with there's a Spider-Man game for the Game Boy too, which we're definitely playing some Spider-Man on the channel. I'll talk about it more there, but there's the one called like Mysterio's Mystery or something like that, or Mysterio's Menace or something. I don't know, but it is a freaking great Spider-Man game. Just one of the best like handheld. Honestly, one of the best Spider-Man games, I think, in my opinion. Like, obviously, it's nothing revolutionary, like, you know, it was for the Game Boy, so nothing crazy is going on in it. But you know, it had the same sound effects of the original, you know, PlayStation game. But it really showed his, you know, the amazing rogue gallery that, you know, Spider-Man has, you know, and it had starting off like 3 or 4 places that you can go, and they all had like a boss fight at the end of it, and they're all okay. That drained majority of my energy, but none of my health. Does he also do stuff if I charge up all the way? And then is Golly the only one that? Oh no, he has one too. Okay, so they all have it. They all have like a nuke. But it had so many of his, you know, villains. It had, you know, it had some of the classics. It had, you know, Hammerhead, and I think Electro is one. Electro or Shocker? Well, I think both. And then Hammerhead, Rhino. I'm sure Rhino fight was really fun. His character model was awesome. But then it had some off-the-wall ones that nobody really thinks about. It had Big Wheel, and that's a goofy character, especially in that game. It's literally just like a dude in this giant one-wheel machine. Weird as hell. Just it was just one of those things with down to the music, down to the sound effects and stuff. There was a lot of banger games on the Game Boy. That's honestly a lot of games I would like to play. I would love to play some Game Boy games on here. You know, we have like the Switch and stuff, so because I, you know, speaking in, I think the okay, the Melee video. I was talking about Metroid. I want to play Metroid Fusion because Metroid Fusion is one of my favorite Metroid games. Okay, so there's this. You get pushed back so far whenever he goes to reset that you just... Okay. This is Dark Souls. Every time I die, they just all come back. This camera, dude. I want to play Metroid Fusion really bad. And then I would love to play that Bionicle game. It might not be the best for the channel, but I don't care. Like I said, I am big time right now when it comes to the games on the channel. I am trying to play stuff that I like. Trying to really relive the childhood. But I'm also trying to branch out and stuff. I do have a game downloaded that was suggested to me on by a viewer that I've never played before, and I'm gonna give it a go and see how we feel about it. And you know, I'll try to play through all of it, and that's what I've been wanting. You know what I mean? I've been wanting, you know, you guys, viewers, fans, whatever you want to be called, to suggest some games that you know you grew up playing and throw them my way and see them on the channel. You know, this is all about reliving stuff and reliving your childhood, and you know, you're coming to me to do so, and I would love to be the one. You know, you guys are choosing to relive your childhood with me, so I want to play all the stuff you played. Also, it just gets me to try new stuff. Like, I'm always somebody that likes to try stuff, new things, and spice it up a bit. You know, besides when it comes to food, I am 100% the guy that every restaurant I go to, I'm going to order the... Okay, I cannot say that fully. I definitely do that, but I'm willing to try new things. But I won't lie. I definitely do it a lot. I definitely will get the exact same thing every single time. I'm a creature of habit, but also, too, I know it's good. You know, you try something new and it's like dog shit, and now you just now you just spent all this money, or you know, somebody else spent the money, and your food is trash and you don't like it, or it tastes bad. Ah! Now you have to like sit there and awkwardly eat this food that you think tastes like pure butt. And I don't like doing that. But I also don't like ending videos, but we have to. We've hit our marker, but we'll finish this up in the next one. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Please subscribe if you haven't. Share it around with your friends if you're enjoying this. Suggest in the comments also games that you like, and let me know which Toa was your favorite. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.